This live fire drill was years in the making, with high-precision weapons made in the USA and purchased by Taiwan. These HIMARS, high-mobility artillery rocket systems, arrived here late last year, the same systems Ukrainian soldiers have been using to target Russian positions. Mobile launchers are equipped with guided rockets that can strike 185 miles away. That's well beyond the southeastern coast of China. More of these rocket systems will be delivered here next year. That's earlier than planned, part of this race to overhaul Taiwan's defenses. This colonel said, "We have 100% confidence in our readiness, new equipment, and strategy." Taiwan is a self-governing democracy that Beijing claims as its own. China's President Xi Jinping makes no secret of his intentions to unify the island with the mainland and won't rule out using force.
We face a huge challenge, a security challenge from the mainland China. So we have to make ourselves very well on the combat readiness.
Billions of dollars in U.S. arms deals have been helping Taiwan build up and revamp its defenses with weapons like drones, missiles, and upgraded fighter jets. They've expanded mandatory military service to 1 year, and reservist training just increased too.
I
think it's useful in practice, says this reservist. U.S. military personnel are also involved with training, at least dozens of them according to the Pentagon, though an exact number on the ground and what they do is a bit murky. It's all fundamental to a U.S. mandate to provide Taiwan with weapons and skills to deter any attack by China. HIMARS mark a significant step, as well as an intelligence sharing deal with the U.S.
Is it a game changer for Taiwan?
Yeah.
Yet now, more than ever here, there are questions about reliability and whether the U.S. would intervene if China ever invaded.
Taiwan did take all of our chip business. You know, we used to make our own chips. Now they're made in Taiwan.
Officials in Taipei were rattled first by comments President Trump made on the campaign trail regarding semiconductors, and then telling Bloomberg in an interview after his inauguration that Taiwan, quote, should pay us for defense.
You don't have the cards.
Then came the collapse of U.S. support for Ukraine, and now the threat of steep tariffs on Taiwan's exports.
We still consider that there is conflicting, ideas emerging in the U.S. government right now. Which voices or narratives should we listen to?
Taiwan's president is pledging this week to buy more American goods as it tries to downplay tariff tensions as friendly friction. But leaning into the anxiety is China, ramping up military activity around the island, and most recently, staging amphibious landing drills in the Taiwan Strait. The head of U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, Admiral Samuel Paparo, warned that Chinese exercises are not drills but rehearsals, leaving the island looking to Washington for clues about whether more deals will equal a deterrent for China or just more uncertainty. Janice Mackey-Frere, NBC News. I hope.
All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Call Halayim La Yehovah, Ba'Shem Yahweh Ba'Shem Harakakwadash Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and my elder heroine as well. Salutation to the argument of pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh. All right, I'm Khlak Sa'an by Yashar Aleph from the Lions in the Yashar Aleph camp. And this is another Lions in News and Prophecy. And here goes. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 1, it says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Right? And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. All right? So this is another Lions Den News and Prophecy. Lord willing, bless and edify and serve His purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believes in the name of Yahweh Shem Yoshai. All right, so last week, I pretty much did a week campaign on lessons on the growing military force in the South Pacific involving China and the United States. Looks like we might be going into another week of that because now, in retaliation to all the things that have been done, all the firepower that America's been sending over there, China has a response. Um, yeah, so, and there's another thing that happened. I read an article today. I hope I saved it. Um, China says the United States broke their tariff treaty after they said they were gonna hold off on the tariffs. They didn't, being a truce breaker. So I want, you know what I'm saying? Lord, hopefully I can find that article that I was looking at earlier based upon that. But, tensions are growing real heavy between the United States and China, man. And ally to China is Russia, directly and indirectly, Sometimes China tries to play both sides and try to play a diplomatic role. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they're going to back Russia on anything. Um, so yeah, man. So which puts the United States back up against the wall. And then not only that, a situation with Taiwan, how what President Trump's talking about how that Taiwan should be paying us or paying the United States for protection, right? But they spending their money buying military equipment from the
I hope
United
viewers
States.
who watch the show,
You know, so that's breaking the trust that Taiwan once had for the United States because they don't know if they're gonna really seek the help that they need after buying, paying, spending all this money, spinning their wheels, thinking that the United States is gonna back them with force if it ever came down to it. But now they're starting to see under the Trump administration that's not gonna happen. Just like how he tried to stop all the funding to Ukraine. See that? Them boosted these people up to make them seem like that America's gonna back them just to pull the rug out from under their feet. But that's going to eventually all it's going to turn against the United States, man. These people are going to start siding with the enemies of the United States. He said, "Any enemy of mine, any enemy of my enemy is a friend." Uh, you know what I'm saying? Any enemy of my enemy is my friend. So with the sideways backhand mess that America's doing with Taiwan, they might as well go ahead and join the mainland because they'll get treated better. America's not with treating anybody fair. America's only with um, deceiving people. That's all Esau's about, living off deception, man. So now, as we spoke about last week, tensions are growing over there in the Pacific, dealing with China and the United States. Majority of it has to do with Taiwan, but sometimes some of it's not indirectly. Some of it is directly because America and China have their beef too. So it says, article says, as China's threats grow, Taiwan seeks U.S. military support to strengthen its defense, and the United States has been sending support over there. Right? It says below a windy lookout, 3 U.S.-made mobile rocket launchers launched launched forward at a military base in Taiwan, preparing for their first live fire test on the Beijing Plain Island. It says 3, 2, 1 launch. A Taiwan military officer counted down over a loudspeaker. A total of 33 rockets were then fired towards the Pacific Ocean in the opposite direction from the Chinese mainland, making a thousand sounds, making a thunderous sound. Each erupt in blasts of flame and trailed white smoke that arced high into the air. And pretty soon you're gonna see stuff like that coming in this direction. It says the historic test of the high mobility artillery rocket system the HIMARS, it says, took place this month at an undisclosed location in Pyongyang and Pingtong County on the southern tip of Taiwan as Taipei scrambles to overhaul its military and get President Donald Trump's backing amid growing military threats from China. All right, so like we talked about last week, they sending those things that we're talking about right now, B-52 bombers, and they already have two submarine, not submarine, but two aircraft carrier battle fleets over there. So they're beefing up military over there. Um, and then we all know it's for this issue that's going on with China, right? So the rocket systems could be crucial if Taiwan ever came under attack from Beijing, which was not ruled out, which has not ruled out the use of force in annexing the self-governing democracy, because China doesn't believe that it's self-governed. They say it's a part of China. It says manufactured by United States defense contractor Lockheed Martin, HIMARS mobile launchers are equipped with guided rockets that have a range of about 150 miles, far enough to reach coastal targets in the southern Chinese province of Fujian, on the other side of the Taiwan Strait. It is the same rocket system that Ukrainian forces have been using to target Russian positions unlike Ukraine, Taiwan paid the United States more than $1 billion for this weaponry. Yeah, and Ukraine is getting it for free. Yeah, the Biden administration put in a big, hefty defense or aid package for Ukraine, and they're saying that America should honor that. Trump should honor that. But Trump was like, y'all need to be paying us. The hell we look like paying y'all? We ain't finna go to war. We over here. But little do they know, yes, America is going to war. All this is being strategically done by Yahweh Shim Al Shai to pull America into an all-out battle to destroy this place, man. So there's another one. I'm not gonna read all this article pretty long.
Can take away a better understanding of how.
All right, so let's go into some scriptures real quick. Let's get. We always go to these, so we might as well keep on going to it. Jeremiah 50:1. It says, the word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Right? And Jeremiah is here on this earth today doing the same thing. It says, verse 2, declare ye among the nations and publish this and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Murdoch is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. Right. It says, because the Lord is stirring up these nations against Babylon. To do what? It said, put yourselves in array against her round about. Jeremiah 51:1, it said, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. Right. And that destroying wind is going to be what? The missiles. It says, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land for the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about, right? And this is the ultimate setup, making America vulnerable, spinning their wheels, getting behind the eight ball, and that Fanners is talking about enemies. So you see America constantly making enemies with Russia, making them with Iran, and Israel's getting pissed off because they don't like how the nuclear deals are going. China, North Korea, you see that? All these people are being raised up against Babylon, right? To send that destroying wind, which is the missiles, man. It says, verse 13, 3, it says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Right. So all these weapons that America's sending everywhere, setting them up in their military bases in the other continents, and setting up a golden dome or whatever they kind of say here, right? So they bending bows. The Lord's going to set up a similar nation to bend bows right back. I mean, shoot arrows right back. Right? It says, and against him that lifted up his brigandine, his armor, and it says, spare ye not her young men, destroy utterly all of her host, her whole army, man. That whore that sits upon many waters, you know. So you're seeing tension being built up on all sides for America, you know. Right. So like when Babylon fell, they had to fight on two fronts against the Persians and the Medes, right? Right. You know. So so you're seeing the same thing with Babylon the Great, which is America, man. You know. So the Lord says, utterly destroy all of her hosts, man. That word host goes into um um host of organized army. Organized for war. A campaign, literally or figuratively. You know what I'm saying? Warship, army, battle, company. See that? Soldiers. See that? Utterly destroy all of her hosts. And that's the judgment that Yahweh Shem Shai has for this place, man. For the land of the Chaldeans, which is America. All right, so I got another one I'm probably going to try to do later on today. That's going into uh well, Australia wants to know why is China boosting up its military might over there close to them. And there's another one that says tensions between China and the United States are rising even higher because the United States' lack of honesty with the whole trade tariff thing. They were supposed to have a tariff truce, but the United States, being truce breakers that they are, broke it. All right, Lord willing, let's edify and serve His purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and that with that are like Sekah Halayim, like Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shem Harakah Kodash, my double honors to the other apostles of the great millstone, and my elder here one as well. Salutations to the Archon that puts in the truth, sincerity, and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Shalom.